Coming up next on Burbank On Demand, your government at work. How do you stay up to date? The answer is right at your fingertips. Park, recreation, and community services. How this city department is covering all the bases. The Burbank Fire Department celebrates 100 years. We'll sit down with the new fire chief for a little history lesson. And the Burbank Animal Shelter is looking for a home for this adorable pooch. And this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Hello, I'm Drew Sugars, Public Information Officer for the City of Burbank. Thank you for joining us for this initial episode of Burbank On Demand. Over the next 20 minutes, we're going to take you around this wonderful city and show you some of the great things that are going on. I know, who's got 20 minutes these days? But we're going to break down every single story so you can watch it at your convenience on demand on the city's website. You pick the time you want to watch it. We begin with our cover story. Did you know that we've made it easier to find archived meetings on the City of Burbank's website? Peter Masurlian joins us now to tell us about Burbank meetings as seen on TV and more.
A two-person Burbank Channel crew spends more than 30 hours a month in this cramped control room to bring Burbank residents gavel-to-gavel coverage of 5 different governmental bodies. The room, just 40 feet from the council chamber dais, has been the origination point of almost 3,000 live meetings since the first live city council cablecast found its way into Burbank living rooms in the fall of 1987. These live meetings you can see streamed on the internet or watch more conveniently on Charter Communications Cable Channel 6 or AT&T UVerse Channel 99 are planning board meetings every second and fourth Monday of the month, city council meetings on more than 40 Tuesday nights per year, monthly police commission meetings every third Wednesday night, monthly Park and Rec Board meetings every second Thursday night, and Board of Education meetings every first and third Thursday of the month. You can also catch taped replays of the meetings, as well as 2 meetings that do not run live, the monthly BWP Board meeting and the twice-monthly Airport Authority meetings.
What was the reasoning?
But if you're unable to watch the replays of the taped meetings or when those meetings run live, you can see any of them, new or old, anytime you want, 24/7, via the archive system on the city's website at burbankca.gov. Simply go to the home page and then on the upper left-hand corner, click on the Burbank channel. Then either click On Demand Videos here or here. That will bring you to this page, where along the left-hand column you have an easy-to-read menu of meetings. City Council meetings, Planning Board meetings, Park, Recreation and Community Services Board meetings, Burbank Water and Power Board meetings, Police Commission meetings, Burbank Glendale Pasadena Airport Authority meetings, and the Burbank Unified School District Board of Education meetings. The new and improved way to navigate the Burbank On Demand meeting videos has been met with approval by at least one board chairman.
City council meetings are very important for the public to see, amongst other things, what is happening with their tax dollars. Well, if someone has a particular interest in seeing the Park and Rec or Burbank Water and Power Board or Police Commission or what we do here in the Planning Board, they can log on and download a video on demand for easier access. I think the easier it is made for people to see what goes on with their government, the better government gets for the people.
Reporting from somewhere on TV and on the internet, I'm Peter Masurlian with the Burbank On Demand cover story.
Thank you, Peter. The Burbank Park, Recreation and Community Services Department. That's a lot to say, but then again, the folks in that department are doing a lot. Colleen Duffy-Felix is here now to explain the wide variety of things they do and how you can get involved.
Park, Recreation, and Community Services. Now this department knows how to make our lives better. There's something for everyone.
You see how you've got the yarn here? I would put the shuttle in at the end like that direction.
Outdoor space, large enough for the whole family, or just enough space for a quiet spot to sit. Indoor action, or outdoor thrills. Something for the young or the young at heart.
And I think it's also about healthy living and quality of living. I think that that's sort of what we bring to this community is things that are important, things that people value, and things that enrich their lives.
Burbank's 32 parks are spread out throughout the city, offering a variety of activities, from an urban setting to an up-close look at nature.
To have this open area is a blessing or a great advantage to the community. I'm actually seeing more and more people who are appreciating the outdoors and hiking, and to get some sunshine and some fresh air and some exercise. It's also important, I think, to help future generations connect to the local habitats.
The Recreation Guide is one of the most comprehensive you will find, with literally hundreds of classes offered each quarter. A quick scan reveals an assortment of classes from yoga to cooking to ceramics. They are not your grandparents' senior centers anymore. The Jocelyn and Tuttle Adult Centers in Burbank offer countless opportunities for individuals over 55.
Some people think it's just for old people. They see the shuffleboards outside, but there are activities and information that will help everybody. There are a number of different programs housed here at the Jocelyn Center. The RSVP program is a program for seniors who would like to volunteer in the community.
Committed to community outreach, Park, Recreation, and Community Services encourages people to become leaders and community volunteers.
No, don't leave. We'll have more games for you. Yay!
It's more than just the recreational activities that you can find yourselves enjoying. It's also the bigger part of the connection to this community and quality of life for people.
Neighborhood leadership programs, Burbank Shares, and connect with your community events, promote community awareness, participation, and giving back. And that goes beyond having fun or learning new skills. To find all the different ways you can spend your free time, go to burbankca.gov.
Thank you, Colleen. Now, if you're interested in any of those classes you saw in that piece or want to learn more about what's in the Rec Guide, it looks like this. Check it out. You will be amazed at all the different types of classes they have in there. Now, this is the spring guide. The summer guide is going to come out in early May, so make sure that you look for it. This is Burbank On Demand. Still to come, celebrating 100 years of fire protection. Chief Tom Lenahan sits down to look back at a century of service and a behind-the-scenes look at Adopt-A-Pet.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
This was the scene in McCambridge Park at the end of March during Extravaganza. More than 1,000 children and parents joined the event, which returned this year. Special thanks goes out to the volunteers from around Burbank and the Park Recreation and Community Services Department who stepped up to make this event possible. For more on what's happening around Burbank, here's Todd Wilson.
Welcome to This Week in Burbank, where we look back at significant events of the past week and take a look ahead to what's coming up. Last weekend, Burbank on Parade took to the streets and dazzled parade watchers young and old. KFI's Tim Conway Jr. served as the Grand Marshal for the parade, which featured local celebrities, vintage cars, and even a marching band or two. If you missed it, don't worry. The full parade will be featured on the Burbank channel and online on Burbank On Demand. So be sure to check back for more information on airtimes and online at burbankca.gov/BurbankOnDemand. The Burbank Police Department's mental health evaluation team, seen here being introduced to the City Council, has just been recognized for their excellence. The Peace Officers Association of Los Angeles County recently recognized the program as an outstanding mental health partnership. The award recognizes Burbank Police's efforts in partnering with Los Angeles County's Department of Mental Health in managing these special cases of those suffering mental illness in Burbank. A man on his way home stopped in Burbank last week, but he isn't on a normal trip. Gabriel Cordell will be traveling coast to coast over 75 days and 3,300 miles, all in his wheelchair. Gabe trained for his trip at the YMCA here in Burbank and stopped by to thank everyone for their support.
And it all started here. The YMCA took me in, they accepted me, they cared for me, they supported me, they showed me love, and they never ever judged me. I am so indebted to them, they have no idea.
Gabe's trip will end in his hometown of West Hempstead, New York for his 25th high school reunion later on this summer. Looking ahead, here are some other events coming up in Burbank you'll want to keep on the calendar. The Burbank Recycle Center will be opening stores for the second annual Earth Day event coming up on April 20th. This is your chance to see what happens to all of your recyclables after you toss it in your recycling barrel. The event will feature live music, food trucks, and a special kids corner for learning activities for children. The Earth Day festivities run from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and will be on site at the Burbank Recycling Center, 500 South Flower, at the corner of Flower and Verdugo. Parking is limited, so please, in the spirit of Earth Day, bike, walk, carpool, or take the bus. For more information, visit the Recycling Center's website at burbankrecycle.org or give them a call at 818-238-3900. Saturday, April 27th, the Burbank Police Department will be holding another drug take-back event at the Burbank Police Station from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event provides a safe place for you to dispose of expired, unused, or unwanted prescription medications and help prevent drug abuse and theft. For information, call Officer Joshua Kendrick at 818-238-3223. And finally, the City of Burbank's Dodger Night is coming up on June 7th, and tickets are on sale now. Don't miss your chance to get out to the ballpark with your friends and neighbors. Tickets start as low as $12 and can be purchased at BWP, Olive Recreation Center, or at the Community Services Building. For more information, log on to burbankca.gov/Dodger Night. For Burbank On Demand, I'm Todd Wilson. That's what's going on this week in Burbank.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Welcome back to Burbank On Demand, where every story you see here can be found on demand on the city's website. Well, it was 2 years ago that the city of Burbank celebrated its birth. This year, we're actually celebrating 3 centennials: Burbank Water and Power, the library, and the Burbank Fire Department. Chief Tom Lenahan has been with his department for 25 of those years. He joins us now for First Person to take us back in time.
Well, the early years of firefighting in the city of Burbank was a largely rural area, lots of ranch land, and firefighting was done on a volunteer basis. And there was a bell purchased by the city of Burbank, and it was put on a hose drying tower near downtown Burbank. And when there was a fire, that bell was rung. And all the volunteers, all the homeowners that volunteered to be firefighters would come to where the bell was, and there was a hose cart. And this hose cart contained firefighting equipment of the day: hoses, ladders, axes, some length of fire hose, and they would collect that hose cart, and it could either be drawn by a horse, by an automobile, or just pulled, and off they would go and off to do their firefighting. Through the period of 1913 through about 1924, we had a part paid, part volunteer fire service, and right around the era of 1925 to 27, we became a fully paid fire department with 14 personnel. The city was able to have bond measures that gave us 3 fire stations, 2 fire engines. Now back then, This was a hose pumper that pumped 250 gallons a minute and cost about $6,500. Some of our significant fires we've experienced have been at the airport terminals that we've had in the 30s and the 50s. We also have had significant fires at the Warner Brothers Studios, and we've assisted LA City at Universal Studios on 2 different occasions in the past 25 years. We also have a very rich history in emergency medical response. And in 1974, we sent 9 firefighters to the Los Angeles County Paramedic Training Institute to become dual-function paramedic firefighters. And that started our tradition of paramedic firefighting and providing paramedic advanced life support in the city of Burbank. Another milestone for us is our collaboration with the cities of Glendale and Pasadena and Verdugo Fire Communications. This started in 1979 by the 3 fire chiefs at the time, and the vision was to create a mode of dispatch and seamless emergency response where borders were not an issue and the closest resource responded to the emergency. And that's evolved now in 30 years, where we've included 8 other jurisdictions within Area C, so we really have about 12 different jurisdictions that provide unified response, which is a method of seamless collaboration across borders that provide a very efficient 911 service. One significant piece of history is, in the fire service, the Medal of Valor is not given off very often. And the first time in my 26th career that I remember it being given out was to engineer Ron Perlman, who is still on the job today. He's one of our fire prevention engineers. At the time, in 1990, he was a firefighter working on Engine 13. And there was an emergency response of a man hanging out at Naomi in Station 13's district. Well, as our units arrived and Ron arrived as a firefighter, he realized that as he went into this apartment, 2nd-story apartment, there was a distraught husband who had been in an altercation with his wife. He had taken his 4-month-old baby and went out to the balcony of this apartment and was hanging the baby over the balcony. Well, firefighter Pullman at the time, not taking into account his own personal safety, rushed through and went and grabbed the baby, basically almost diving over the balcony, at which point 2 Burbank police officers, Reeve Ricard and Bobby Schwartz, grabbed Ron so he wouldn't fall over the balcony, and thus they saved this baby's life. I've told you a few historical stories, and I certainly can't give you all of them off of my memory. But the fire department has recently launched our new website, burbankfire.us. And I encourage you to go there because we did this in conjunction with our centennial celebration. And once you click into the website and you go into the centennial section, there is a large piece of history documented and written on our history, on historical events, as well as a number of historical pictures that really tell the story of the Burbank Fire Department. And it's well worth the time spent to go in and give us a look.
Thank you, Chief Linehan, for that look back. You can join the Burbank Fire Department as it celebrates its 100-year birthday. The Fire Centennial celebration will take place during Fire Service Day, Saturday, May 11th this year. This is Burbank On Demand. Coming up, these little guys need your help when we return backstage at Adopt-A-Pet.
Up to 40% of businesses never recover after experiencing a major disaster. Make a plan at ready.gov/business.
We're behind the Burbank Animal Shelter where they tape the Adopt-A-Pet show. The long-running program has done a great job placing rescue animals into loving homes. Here's Stacy Wood-Levin to take us on a quick behind-the-scenes tour.
Hi everybody, I'm Bob Kramer. We're back at the Burbank Animal Shelter. We've got a lot of great pets to show you tonight. We've got a lot of nice
The Adopt-A-Pet show was started in 1995 by Bob Kramer and Larry Elliott, and they started the show to showcase the pets that wouldn't otherwise be seen by people who wouldn't come into the shelter.
And she's a stray, and she'd be available on the 13th of December if she's not clean.
We have all types of animals at the shelter. We have dogs and we have cats, and I think that most people think that's all we have. But we house hamsters here. We have a turtle pond. We adopt out red-eared sliders and different water turtles. We have lots of rabbits. At times we will adopt out reptiles. We house birds here. We adopt out parakeets and cockatiels and sometimes big beautiful parrots. We've had everything here, everything.
I'm Carlos, I'm a kennel attendant at the Burbank Animal Shelter. Let's go get Dazer for the TV show. Come on.
I choose animals to feature on the show by behavior, and it's not by a breed basis, it's by who I think is going to go show well on the show. Also, animals that have been here for a long time, I'd like to showcase them. For the people that don't come into the shelters that actually just watch the show, I want them to know what's available. We typically feature 5 dogs on the show each week and 2 cats, maybe a rabbit or 2. We try to keep it within a time constraint. We'd like to show every animal every filming.
Dazer, come here, Doofy. Good boy. So now we're waiting. They're showing a dog at the moment. So once they're done, Dazer, they'll flag me down, and then Dazer will be up next.
Yeah, they like the video. Having orders maybe a little
Boy, come on up. Come on up. Come on all the way up. Come on all the way up. Oh, love you. You want to come all the way? Come on. So, okay, Dazor, it's getting to be like a Babs and a Hazel situation with Dazor. We're just going to keep showing him until he gets adopted. Stay right there. So Dazor is a Lab and Rottweiler mix. He was turned in by his owner many months ago. He's good with kids.
He's good with dogs.
He's good with dogs. He's an active dog, so he's going to need to go for walks or hikes or whatever. And he's going to need a yard. But, you know, when he's done with his exercise, he's just going to come inside and kick back with you. He's awesome. Huh. I don't think he's got an aggressive bone in his body either.
No,
yeah,
I don't think so.
Good dog. You're so good dog. Okay, all right, you're done. You're done. Okay, come on. Let's go. Leaps and bounds.
Yeah, a little house aid.
Am I taking him back inside?
We get calls when we feature the animals on the show. We get phone calls from people that ask more questions about them, and it's nice because we get people that actually come in and visit with the animals and ultimately adopt them. If you see an animal you like, it has to be available. It has to have an available stamp on it. If it's not, we'll tell you when the review date is and what you need to be able to adopt that animal. Basically, you come in, we sit down with you, we determine if it's the right animal for you and determine if you're the right family for that animal. And it's a quick process, but it's nice we let you get to know the animal before you actually take it home.
Thank you, Stacy, and everyone at the Burbank Animal Shelter for all the great work that you do. Now, if you'd like to visit the shelter, it's located at 1150 North Victory Place. It's open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sundays. Well, that's it for this first edition of Burbank On Demand. If you saw any story during this episode that you'd like to watch again, simply go to the city's website at burbankca.gov and then look for it on demand. We'll see you next time.